Hi guys, in this lesson I want to cover off application programming interfaces. So I mentioned APIs earlier on in the section, and it's really important you understand what these are because the cloud is actually built off using APIs. Now it can be a confusing subject, so what I've done is I'm going to use an analogy to help you to understand it better. So in this analogy we have a client, and the client needs to build a house. So he's gone to a builder. The builder has provided a set of standard options in a list. So he said, you can choose the style of your house, what features you might have. And the client then needs to fill that information out and send through the completed list to the builder. The builder will then use a series of contractors. So there's an electrician, there's a carpenter, there's a construction worker, and many, many others. And the builder will give the instructions to the workers in the language that they understand. Now this is really important. It means that the builder is communicating with those workers using their terminology, using things they understand. The builder knows from his experience how to talk to an electrician and give them the specifications and instructions they need. But the client doesn't know that stuff. He's never built a house before. He doesn't need to. He just needs to fill out the list that the builder gave him, and the builder then takes care of that communication. Now, in an API world, we have what's called a RESTful API, and RESTful stands for Representational State Transfer. It uses the HTTP protocol. In this case, the API provides the instructions that developers can then use in their code. So, for example, an application is running on this client, and it's been built by a developer to use the API. And the instructions are then sent to the API using the HTTP protocol. The API will then communicate with back-end services, and they might each have their own language, their own instructions, but the API knows how to send the information to them. So it can then communicate with a web service, an application server, or a database server. So think of that API as being that one place that you can go to and send a standard set of instructions, and it will then take care of communicating with other types of applications or services in the cloud. Now, as I mentioned, cloud computing is built off APIs, so it's really important you understand this concept. So hopefully that makes some sense, and I'm sure it will become clearer as you go through the course as well.